Hi, so it's been a while since I posted anything. Um, Sorry about that. A while ago on Instagram, I asked you guys to ask me some questions to answer about acting, and I don't know if any of you remember it, but I'm gonna do that. So let's do that now together. Run the jingle. It's the song. This is the song for doing the thing about answering questions. Let's go. All right, question one. How do you start acting? There is no set path for becoming a professional actor. To become an actor in the sense of going on a stage or getting in front of a camera and learning lines, there's nothing stopping you. There are community theatre and amateur dramatic societies that you can join for free most of the time to be able to get involved in some kind of acting. If you want to be a professional actor, that's a different story, and it depends where you are in life. For most people, though, I would recommend starting acting as a hobby in a way that doesn't affect your life in any drastic way. So don't give up a degree that you're doing. Don't give up any GCSEs or high school diplomas that you're doing. Don't go out of your way to sacrifice anything in your life until you know that you can handle the stresses and anxiety and fear that can come from being an actor. As an actor, you're going to deal with rejection, self-doubt, imposter syndrome, self-doubt, anxiety, rejection. It's all very, very difficult for someone to become an actor. Not only in terms of the job, but also just from a personal level, like learning how to be okay with not succeeding a lot. Finally, I would highly recommend buying this book, The Actor's Life, A Survival Guide by Jenna Fisher. This thing is a Bible. It's out, when did it come out? 2017. Came out in 2017, so it's a little dated already. Otherwise, there's so much in here that I'm going to be covering in this video. Like, I'm going to be ripping from this book a lot. So buy this book, get it from a library, actually buy it. If you can afford it, buy it, because it's really worth it. Thank you, Jenna Fisher, for this book. It's really important. Is there an age too late to start acting? Is 13 too late to start acting? What is the ideal age to start acting? As I said at the beginning, there's no set path, and your personal journey to becoming a professional actor is going to be so much different to anyone else's. If you go to a drama school, people might be your age, but there may be people that are way older than you. There isn't a set age for when to become an actor. Don't compare yourself to Disney Channel actors. You will find that most people that are on Disney Channel come from extremely wealthy and connected families. Ariana Grande is very wealthy and very connected, and that's how she got where she got. And you know, Samuel L. Jackson, Harrison Ford, Morgan Freeman, they all started their careers quite late. It can happen anytime. It's more about being ready when opportunity is given to you. All right, next question. What is an audition like, and why does the process sometimes take so long? I mean, if you haven't seen Brittany Raymond's video, it's a work of art, and it put me into a creative coma for possibly ever. Britt, dear God, thank you again for making an incredible piece of work. I don't know if I can put it here or if I put it in the description or whatever. Go watch it, because it's an incredible video explaining the audition process as an actor. I'm not going to cover. She does a great job of it. I'm not going to rehash this. What is a self-tape? It's an audition on camera. Again, watch Brittany's video. What is an actors union? Okay, let's look up what is a union. A union is an organized group of workers who unite to make decisions about conditions affecting their work. So there you go. There are basically three big unions. You've got SAG-AFTRA in the United States, ACTRA in Canada, and then Equity in the UK. They are a group of actors all got together and agreed that they weren't going to work for any company that didn't negotiate proper working conditions with them. If you are a director, there's a Directors Guild. If you're a writer, there's a Writers Guild. There's a Production Guild. In fact, the Production Guild is currently thinking about going on strike for the bad conditions that people in film production and TV production have had to put up with, especially during COVID. Highly recommend you look it up, because the people that make film and TV not the actors, the people behind the camera, work 10 times harder than any actor does and are being put through atrocious conditions. Highly recommend you look into that. Okay, what's next? What is a typical day like on set, and how long would a typical working day be? Do you get free food, and how do you know where to stand for each scene to avoid blocking the camera? Okay, so let's take me being on the next step as a easiest example, and why most of you are watching the channel. Each day coming up, I will get a text from production telling me that I am going to be coming in. My call time is 5 a.m. the next day. I arrive at 4:45 because I am on time. If you turn up at 5 o'clock and your call time is 5 o'clock, you are late. Okay, so I turn up 10 minutes early and I know where I am, and I let the assistant directors know where I am, and then I head to craft services usually, which is where the food is. I'll usually get some scrambled eggs and stuff and have like a healthy breakfast, maybe a coffee. And then I'll head to the green room, have my breakfast, and then I'll go on to wardrobe and get into my costume. Then the assistant director will come and tell me that they want me to go to hair and makeup. I go get my hair and makeup done. Then I go back and chill in the green room for a bit. Then they come and tell me where I need to go. I go to set. I meet the director and the people that are working there that day. Usually the writers are there and the exec producers. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. And then we go through the blocking of that first scene, which is where I'm coming in from, where I'm going to stand. We roughly go over the lines with each of the actors and stuff. The camera crew is all there making sure they know where everyone's going to be, and then we do a rehearsal if we're lucky. If not, we'll go straight into it from blocking, and then we do our first take, and we'll do that for 8 to 10 hours to 12 hours if we go over, and then we go home and do it all again. What are the good and bad things about being an actor? The most fun and exciting and enjoyable thing to me is to be paid to do what I think is one of my main talents. It is really validating, and it like puts a lot of fuel in your tank for when you audition for stuff again and you don't get any feedback or hear back from anyone for 6 months to 2 years. The hardest part, I think it's a toss-up between the uncertainty of never knowing when you're going to get an acting job and the self-doubt. The imposter syndrome and the self-doubt and the envy of other people, it's a really difficult thing to deal with. Self-doubt and the imposter syndrome and the envy are things that every person that's creative deals with, and that's not something I can give you advice on because I still struggle with it. Okay, do you recommend going to school for drama? This is a really difficult question. It depends where you are in the world, and also it depends on you as a person. If you do well in education, then probably. If you don't, probably not, but you're going to have a harder time. I think that by not going to drama school, I've missed out on a lot of stuff that I'm having to learn very slowly just through working on it personally, that I think a teacher could have told me in one lesson, and I would have absorbed it very quickly. What is an agent? An agent is a representative of you that works on getting you auditions and then working on contract stuff and making sure that your contract is good and doing the negotiation for you when you do book a part. Do you need an agent? If you're looking to get on a TV show on HBO or Netflix or Disney or any of that nonsense, you need to be a union actor and have a well-connected professional agent in Los Angeles, more likely than not. How do you get an agent? One of the most asked questions was, how do you get an agent? And it is way too complicated a question for me to answer straight out of the gate. So I think I'm gonna answer it in a separate video. If you would like that video, comment down below, because I'm not gonna do it unless there's a lot of interest. Appearance, how much does it matter in acting? This is a country-specific issue, I think. In the UK, I think appearance is less important than where you came from, what school you went to, and who your family is. I think those are way more important factors than in the US or Canada, where it's a lot more about how you look and whether your look fits the part. How do you make yourself stand out? How do you put yourself out there? How do you stand out as an actor? Learn your lines, do good work, turn up on time, be good to work with, be friendly, don't be an asshole, learn your lines. That's it. There's no other plan. That's it. There's no other plans you can make. Just be good to work with, and then people will want to work with you again. That's all I can say. Do actors get to decide what roles they're given, and are there any you wouldn't want to have? It's only the people that are exceptionally, spectacularly successful that get to pick the roles that they go up for. Most people that are, even the ones that you know, will just audition for things. Oh, interesting. Do you think you'd have as much success as you have if you weren't a white male? No, I think that I am incredibly lucky and privileged in that I was born a white male in the UK and the time that I did. It gave me a lot of privileges that I wouldn't have had otherwise, that are just inherent. It allowed me to come to Canada because I am from the UK and that is a Commonwealth country, so I was able to work here for a year. Vertiasium on YouTube posted this really fascinating video about luck and what actually plays into luck. And some of the most basic things about luck are sex, our gender, our ethnicity, and the place that we were born. So no, I don't think that I would be as successful. Okay, some technical stuff. How do you feel the emotion when you play a scene? How do you cry on command, get into character, etc.? Do you set yourself up for scenes where you need to be angry, or do you just go with it? I think there is too much of an emphasis on crying on command, on feeling a particular emotion and behaving a certain way. And most of the time, when you read a script, if it says, "and then she cries," that's a suggestion. If you playing that character don't feel the need to cry at that moment, then that's you playing that character. So if you play that in the audition and then it says she cries and you don't cry, that's not you blowing it, that's your interpretation of the script. In terms of getting into the headspace of a particular character, I often like to listen to music, or I just try and remember times that I've felt angry. There's different types of acting techniques you can do that I'm not going to go into, but usually it's just like, it's not, and then she cries and then you cry, and if you don't cry you lose the part. That's not how it works. How do you learn lines and how long does it take? I'm bad at learning lines. It's one of my big points of anxiety when it comes to my career. However, there are a bunch of different ways that people have learnt to do it. Robert Downey Jr. Famously writes the first letter of every word in the scene that he's learning. I use that, it helps me. Other people record the whole thing, record the other parts of the dialogue as a way of like someone reading it to them. Writing it down. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. You can Google that, but there's no set way of learning lines, and I still struggle with it. Have you got any good advice about how to stop corpsing while you're acting? No, because corpsing is the worst. Blooper reels exist for a reason. How do you get over nervousness before an audition? I've asked other people this, and most of the suggestions I get are mindfulness, breathing, meditation before your scene, listening to music, making sure that you know the lines. Another thing that I found kind of helps sometimes is try as hard as you can to not care about the part. Even if it might be a really big part, go in with the intent that I'm not going to get this, so it doesn't matter if I do well or not. Auditioning is a numbers game. You audition 500 times before you get one role. As long as you do good work, you'll keep getting called in, and that's the important part. What are your tips for on-screen kissing, and is your girlfriend okay with it? It's a job. You're a professional actor. The other person feels as awkward as you do. The point is to make it as least awkward as possible and to do it as few times as possible. Don't be creepy. Don't be creepy. Don't do anything the director didn't tell you to do, and make sure that your partner agrees and consents to everything that you're doing, and vice versa. Yeah, my partner is okay with it because she knows it's a job. Jealousy, it comes from insecurity. It comes from a place of your own insecurity that you're not good enough. So work on that. Work on, why do I feel insecure? Where does that come from? And then work on it yourself, because the person that you're with is not there to make you feel better about your insecurities. They are there because they want to be with you. They're not your therapist. Get a therapist. Go to therapy. Is there a difference between on-screen acting and theater acting? Yeah, there's a big difference. Theatre acting, the main aim is to make sure that everyone can see your emotion and hear your voice at the back, or right at the top of the very back of the theatre. For camera work, the camera's right here. So whatever emotion you have to portray you don't even need to register it. Most of the time, when it comes to camera and film acting, just feeling the emotion will already show it on your face without you needing to emote. Wow, okay, we're done. Damn, Jesus, this was way too long, but I did it. Okay, I finally did it. If you want me to do one of these again, let me know in the comments. Sorry I didn't tag people. It was a long time ago and I wrote the questions down, but I didn't write people's usernames. But thank you for people who ask questions. If you think of something and you want a live reaction, I stream on Twitch. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, currently from 12 p.m. Eastern. Come and ask it directly. Look at the great content you're missing. Just through sheer power of will, I think I'm gonna win this one. Oh. And I will see you on the next one. Please don't subscribe to my channel, because it doesn't deserve it. Okay, goodbye. Farewell. How do you end this video?